Well, welcome to this edition of the Dean's video newsletter. Today we're going to talk about the Code of Conduct. This is incredibly timely for a variety of reasons. This is something that we as a school have worked on very hard over the course of the last several years, and indeed in November 2014 the Executive Council of the Schulich School passed our new Code of Conduct. This is on the website, and I would really advise that you have a look at it. We're not in isolation in doing this either. As a university community and our hospital community, we all have codes of conduct that speak to our behavior in a number of venues for that. If we run into an issue that one of the code of conduct has been in any way impacted upon, we look across all three of them and decide where do we actually deal with the issue. So important for you to understand that as a faculty member, as a student, even as a visiting student to this school, there is a code of conduct that helps govern your activities. How broad is it? Well, it's actually quite broad. Right? In many of our minds, when we think about code of conduct, we think about, well, it's in how do we behave in public places and such for that. Well, public places are now everything. Public places are your Facebook. Public places are what you put out in an email. Public places are things that you state in a written article. They are a reflection of you. They are there forever, so once you put them up into the net, you might think that they come down, but they take on a life of their own, because as soon as they're recognized, they're out there. So we have to always be thinking about what is the magnitude of the impact of the comments that we're about to make. Not only is an infringement on the Code of Conduct something that has a direct implication to you, but it speaks to the school. What are the areas that are covered off in these documents? Well, there's a whole range of them, and I would suggest that you have a look at the document itself, because it's all categorized. So it talks about really positive things, very important, like excellence. Right? Everybody thinks Code of Conduct talks about when you're infringing on it, and I've used that word several times for this. But excellence also speaks to our values as a school. What are the things that we really intrinsically value and say, we stand for this as a school? It's excellence in teaching. It's excellence in our patient care. It's excellence in how we work with our communities and really get our message out there and help with healthcare delivery or science on all of these fronts. How are we there and engaged? And excellence should be at the top of that list. And indeed, it's the first thing that you see in our Code of Conduct. So there's nothing in the document as you go through that doesn't make sense. It's kind of a motherhood type of a document that says, look, this is how we would want our individuals within our faculty, again, whether you're faculty or students or you're visiting, right? How would you expect to have them behave? How would you want others to behave towards you? It's all common sense and simply lays it out. Now, what's the flip side of that? What happens if you perceive that there has been an infringement on this and it's against you? Or, equally as important, that you see that it's affecting a group of individuals, either within your class or your class directly, or to a part of our society, and you are uncomfortable with that. First off would be LEW, our Learner Equity and Wellness. And we have sites at both here and our Windsor campus, right? And increasingly, under Dr. Mithu Sen, we're actually moving this out further into our distributed education network. So one avenue there. The second avenue is that any member of our administrative staff, from chairs, chair chiefs, through to the decanal level, through to me. So we have an entire continuum here. So you never need to feel that there isn't an avenue that if you perceive that either you've had an infringement against you or that you're perceiving it for another group, there is a way and a mechanism to bring it forward that it will get looked at very seriously. The final thing, right, and this is just, again, goes to the context in which we are living with right now. At this university, at this school, we really do have zero tolerance, right? If there is an infringement that comes forward with respect to the Code of Conduct, and we can show that truly it's an infringement, right? It's not something that we'll try and hide under the rocks. We will deal with it up front, and it can lead from everything from educational sessions to try and help the individual understand why what they did was wrong. Right? Clearly that would be some of the more subtle things, but might simply be a misinterpretation or understanding, right through to much more serious infringements that can lead to dismissal. Right? We have that spectrum before us. So we take it very seriously. We have a very strong code of conduct. I really do strongly suggest that you have a look at it. So thank you for joining me for today's video newsletter. A lot of information there, but it's a very important topic, more so in today's milieu than ever before. Thanks.